So Google's SEO and Google's ranking and all the algorithms and stuff like that change all the time. It's just natural for things to change in tech, of course, to innovate, to get better and better. And if we look out throughout all the 25 years of Google updates, right, what has stayed constant? So what is constant in that SEO? Well, there's a couple, right? So we'll get into all the constants. Normally, it's going to change, to the degree of which the constant is important as well. So it is important to just look at your results, what is going on, what isn't going on. And, they don't publish every little change as well. So it might be kind of confusing to most people. So it's mostly like an arms race, right? So everybody's just trying to get to the top, trying to get to the best, the best, the best. You want to avoid getting into like the arms race, the rat race kind of thing, right? You want to make the best quality instead of trying to just chase the next big thing. So let's look at the endless race, right? So Google and cheaters, so the endlessness of the race, at least for Google, right? Like as long as Google's around, it's endless. So the cheaters get like evolved, and so does Google evolve. So people who are trying to like cheat the system, they eventually get caught, right? I mean, if you keep on robbing a bank, you're going to get caught eventually. At least I hope so, right? If our system works and everything, which I hope it does. But anyways, we just also want to not do a bunch of tricks that are going to, make us look worse to Google because they notice we did the tricks and they're like, oh, wait, we actually don't like you anymore. It's really weird. Google can do whatever they want, right? I mean, it's their platform. It's not. So let's look at a bunch of the like updates, right? So there's a pattern here, right? People stuff keywords to hide it in the code. So some history is what we're going to go over, is the keyword stuffing, right? People would just put a bunch of keyword stuffing or keywords everywhere. Sorry, they would put a bunch of keyword stuffing. They would put a bunch of keywords everywhere, and then Google would rank them higher. Well, obviously that got patched, right? People tried to outgame it, and it didn't have a bunch of information at all. So that didn't really answer the question. So now we got Google to understand the meaning and not the intent. So the intent was what we were saying, just the word itself, but the meaning behind those words. So now it went around and it changed it to mean the meaning. So this focus on the meaning or the goal or the what the user cares about, right? So the user's intent is what Google really, really, really cares about. Is about the intent of somebody going to Google. What are they trying to look for? And then finding the meaning for that and matching it. So Google's really, really good at that. And we've learned that it's the content, the meaning behind it, not just the presentation that matters. Of course, the presentation matters for a lot of people, and it's really important to get right, but it doesn't matter for everything. So why chasing tactics is endless, right? So it's a moving target. So what do I mean by that? It's just constantly changing. And you have your competition as well. So if it's not even changing, you have your competition who is also changing, innovating. So it's like a tech company, right? They have to come up with the newest model every year. You have to keep on iterating and maintain stuff like that. So what hasn't changed, right? What has that constant? What is the unchanging? I don't want to say unchanging. It just hasn't changed yet, right? It might change in the future, of course, but for right now, it's unchanging. So it's genuine helpfulness. So genuinity and helpfulness. So what do I mean by that, right? Well, I mean, is the content actually going to help someone learn? Are they going to help somebody with a problem? You want to have that genuinity. And then it's also the authority. And what I mean by that is, are you respected in your field? Kind of things like that. Are you a doctor? Are you a specialist? How do you know this stuff? So the authority also goes into trust. So that, and they all link together, of course, in some way or another, trust and genuine and all this other stuff. They sound very similar because they're, it's just a lot of the same thing, basically, right? It's all a bunch of different ways of deciding trust. They're just breaking trust down into more different steps. So what has changed in the AI era, right? What has changed with AI? Well, not a whole much. It's just SEO with extra steps. So what do I mean by that, right? So Google, what they've done, right, is they got the top ranked pages. They look through them, they crawl them, they get the text, they summarize it for what the user is asking, and then they put that at the top and link it to the website. So when someone clicks on that link to learn more about it, or to buy it, or to do this, or do that, then it goes into it. There's no like AI SEO. It just uses Google's SEO and then finds the top rated information, because why reinvent the wheel, right? There's no point in doing that. So now let's get into a bunch of myths. I need to chase every Google update. That's not true, right? Google will always be updating. If you chase every one, you'll get burnt out. There's a secret hack to rank number one. No, there's not. There's different components that can help you rank number one, but it's holistic. There's not just like you can do one thing. So a new update cannot destroy your business overnight, right? If anything, it got knocked down to second. It's not terrible. It's just like how it works, right? They go up and down all the time. I wouldn't overreact at all. So AI content, no such thing. I mean, you can optimize for AI, whatever that means, but it's not going to really help. They just use the SEO, So keywords or Google rewards, not always. Keywords are important to have in there, but if you just spam keywords, there's definitely a limit to that as well. You don't want to overdo it. So what should you be doing today, right? What's the takeaway here? And that is not to overreact, okay? Things change, right? And you want to, focus on what Google's focusing, right? So if you align their intentions, like aligning your intentions with your boss, right? It's going to create a happier relationship no matter what. So let's go over everything again. Consistency SEO. So SEO is endlessly evolving. There's cheaters in Google's and in Google like security or whatever, and they go around in circles trying to catch each other. It's an endless game. When you get caught, you're going to be like deranked. So the history behind it, keyword stuffing. People used to put a bunch of keywords in there. Now they got like the meaning behind the keywords instead of just the word itself matching up, which is more aligned to the user's intent, right? So that's what Google wants. That's what you're going to want as well. You want to align those intentions. So it's always moving. The target's always changing. The competition and Google are also creating that moving target for the spot to number one. So some unchanging things is the genuine helpfulness. Do users actually find this helpful? And of course, you also have the authority and trust, which all intermingle there. And then you have AI, right? Which is just SEO with extra steps. It hasn't reinvented the wheel. There's no AI trick. You can optimize it for AI, whatever that means, but there hasn't come out with any definitive, like buy Google or buy a really reputable brand on what AI optimization is. So the takeaway is to avoid getting overwhelmed, right? Don't think of everything at once, and to focus on what Google's focusing. So align those attentions. Once you align those intentions, it's easier to get to number one. It's slow and steady, right? You're not going to get results like that. So get that out of your head. Thank you so much.